All right, get ready to go deep, because today we're taking a trip to the underworld.
And not just any quick trip, we're talking a serious deep dive into the realm of Hades.
You got that right. We asked for your takes on Hades, and wow, you guys delivered.
You weren't kidding. These excerpts really make you wonder, what do we really know about Hades?
Right, he's always painted as this, one-dimensional god of the dead. But what else is there?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? We have these sources that hint at something more going on with Hades.
That's what we're here to uncover. What's really going on in the underworld, and with Hades himself.
Yeah, what's his deal?
Exactly. Is he really just this gloomy, brooding figure, or is there something more?
Something more like what? Compassion, regret, maybe even hope.
Hope in the underworld. Now that's a concept. But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Right.
Before we jump into Hades' potential midlife crisis,
Right.
we got to set the stage. So for anyone who needs a refresher, who is this guy? And why is his realm such a big deal?
Okay, picture this. Hades, king of the underworld, ruler of the dead.
Not exactly the first god you invite to a party?
You got that right. And the sources you sent, they really capture this.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Well, imagine the weight of eternity just constantly on you. It's heavy stuff. The never-ending flow of souls. It's got to be isolating, even for a god.
That's a good point. You'd think being a god would come with perks, like no commute.
Tell me about it. And the thing is, Hades didn't even choose this gig.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, after the whole Titan War, it was like drawing straws. He got stuck with the underworld.
Wow. Talk about drawing the short end of the celestial stick.
Right, and you can tell he's kind of been wrestling with it ever since.
So we have Hades basically stuck in this cosmic timeout, and then boom, his excerpts land on our desk. He's asking some seriously tough questions.
He is. It's like he suddenly woke up and realized, wait a minute, this whole eternal damnation thing, maybe it needs a rethink.
Right. That's what's got us so intrigued. We're used to seeing him as this stoic, unyielding god. But these excerpts, they show cracks in his armor. He's starting to see the souls in his realm differently.
It's like he's gone from seeing just abstract ideas of good or evil to seeing individuals with stories, with lives.
It's almost as if he's finally putting down that cosmic spreadsheet of souls.
Yes.
And realizing that each entry is a whole person with a whole story.
It's huge. I mean, think about it. He's been upholding this system of judgment for, ever, and now he's the one questioning it.
And you know who seems to be a big part of this whole shift in perspective?
Let me guess. Persephone?
Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. She's all over these excerpts. And not just as the underworld's interior decorator.
Definitely not. She's definitely not just there to make the place look a little less gloomy, although she does do a good job of that.
Right. Speaking of which, there's this one part where they describe her as this calming presence. Amidst all the chaos and darkness, she brings this different energy.
Totally. And you have to remember, she's not some outsider looking in.
True.
She knows the underworld. She gets it, you know. But she also represents this whole cycle of life and death, renewal, rebirth, all that.
Which, let's be real, is the exact opposite of the underworld's brand.
Exactly. It's like, come for the eternal darkness, stay for the, more eternal darkness.
Right. Not exactly a selling
Well,
point.
no, not at all. But that's what makes Persephone's perspective so interesting. It's like she's offering this counterpoint to all the doom and gloom, and she's not just being nice to Hades.
No, she's coming at it with some real talk.
Totally. It's like she's saying, hey, I know this place can be a drag, but have you considered this whole change thing? It's kind of a big deal up top.
Okay, I love that. And the thing is, Hades actually listens to her.
He does. I mean, this is Hades.
Yep.
God of the underworld.
Yeah.
He's taking advice from Persephone. It's huge.
Seriously huge. And then it happens. He drops this bomb.
What bomb?
Yeah.
The soul redemption program.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
He wants to give souls a second chance in the underworld.
I know, right? It's wild. It totally changes everything. He's going from questioning the system to wanting to completely revamp it.
It's like he's suddenly offering afterlife counseling. Not happy with your eternal damnation. Let's unpack that, shall we?
Seriously, imagine the gods up on Mount Olympus hearing about this.
Oh, I can just see Zeus now spitting out his ambrosia. Hades is doing what? Offering discounts on damnation? Unheard of.
Totally. It would shake things up. But all jokes aside, this is big. Hades is basically saying, hey, maybe people can change even after they're gone.
Right. It makes you rethink the whole point of the underworld, doesn't it?
It totally does.
Yeah.
What is the underworld if not just a place of punishment?
Exactly. So the big question is, what's driving all of this? Is this really Hades having a change of heart? Or is there something else going on here?
It's the million drachma question. Is this genuine compassion, or is it something, well, a little more calculated?
Right. Like, is this a power play? Is he trying to become the most popular god on the cosmic block? Hades, now offering a more compassionate eternity.
Maybe. But I think these excerpts give us more to work with than that. There's this one part really stood out to me where Hades reflects on his own actions. And honestly, you can practically feel the regret radiating off the page.
Oh, yeah, totally. It's like he's finally admitting that maybe he hasn't always been the nicest guy in the cosmos.
And who could blame him? Ruling the underworld has got to do a number on your mood.
Yeah, talk about a buzzkill.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, right? Even the god of the underworld isn't immune to a little self-reflection.
Exactly. We all have those moments, did I do the right thing? But for Hades, those doubts, they're amplified times 1,000.
Right. It's like his version of a cosmic quarter-life crisis. And that's when we start to see the real Hades, I think.
Oh, totally. He's not just a god anymore. He's struggling with the same stuff we all do.
It's kind of comforting in a weird way, isn't it?
It really is. If Hades can grapple with his regrets, maybe there's hope for the rest of us, right?
Where do we go from here? Does Hades actually go through with this whole redemption program thing?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? These excerpts, they don't really give us a nice, neat ending.
Okay, but come on, you can't just leave us hanging like that. What happens to Hades?
That's the beauty of it, though. We see him at this turning point, right on the edge of something new. And then we have to imagine what comes next.
You're killing me. It's like one of those books that just ends mid-sentence. You're telling me we don't know if he actually changed the underworld.
That's the fun part. It's up to us to decide what we think happened. Did it work? Did Zeus throw a cosmic tantrum?
You're right, you're right. It's more fun to imagine the possibilities. But, okay, let's say Hades does go through with it. What does that even mean for him? He's still Hades, right?
Right. He's still the god of the underworld. He's not suddenly handing out free hugs and rainbows.
Though, come to think of it, a rainbow in the underworld would be pretty epic.
Right. Talk about a design challenge, but I get what you mean. It makes you think about power, doesn't it? Even for a god, it's not always about ruling with an iron fist.
It's like he's realizing that maybe there's a different way to be powerful.
Exactly. Maybe true power comes from understanding, from giving people or, souls a chance to grow and change.
Even in the underworld. Man, I bet the ancient Greeks would have freaked out if they heard about this.
Oh, totally. Imagine trying to explain this back in the day. Yeah, so Hades is running a self-improvement seminar now. It's all the rage in the afterlife.
Right. Minds would be blown. But really, this has been such a fascinating deep dive. And it's not just about Hades, is it? It makes you think about bigger questions.
Exactly. Like, what does it really mean to be just, compassionate? What does redemption even look like?
Heavy stuff. So as we climb out of this mythological rabbit hole and back into the land of the living, what's the one thing you want our listeners to take away from all of this?
I think it boils down to this. If Hades, the god of the underworld, can question his own beliefs, if he can be open to change, then it gives the rest of us a bit of hope, doesn't it?
It really does. It's a good reminder that nothing is truly set in stone. Not even in the underworld, apparently. So, to everyone listening, until next time, keep asking questions. Keep exploring those myths.
And who knows, maybe you'll be the one to uncover the next big myth that makes us rethink everything we thought we knew.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into the ever-evolving, and maybe not so gloomy after all, world of Hades.